Hold on. Hey everybody, this is Mr. Hardcore Mode here, where nothing is easy. Warriors and wenches, how y'all doing? It's good to see you. Where did that thing go? I mean, sure. You get a participation trophy, and you get a participation trophy, and you get a participation trophy, and you do. Sorry, I was looking at this. Listen, okay? Alright. My bad, okay? I was looking at this, but I was actually looking at news. But there you go. Awesome, great. Let's focus on the real issues. That is for something else. There was something on, a gacha game with Spider-Man animations, which, hold on. Where was it? I think it was Spider-Man animations. It's here somewhere. Yeah, people were complaining that a gacha game has this. Yeah, this right here. This right here. Hold on. Let me make sure that... Hold on. Okay. I got music that I could play in the background. I got music. Hold on. Antha NetEase game? Yeah, it's a NetEase game. I mean, if the game is good, the game is good, regardless of whether or not it's from China or not. That's all that matters, is the game is fun to play. You guys hungry for Skyrim? I'm hungry for Skyrim. There we go. Liked? Thank you for liking the stream. I appreciate every single one of you. A lot of things have been changing with YouTube where I'm not getting enough views, but I'll be honest, it's okay. I should hustle harder, I should work harder, give you guys more content that you guys actually enjoy. I enjoy playing the video games that I'm playing right now. So, yeah, I'm good. I'm slowly growing though, slowly but surely, and that's enough for me. I want to keep going, keep on giving you guys good content, and that's what I'm here to do. Let me see. Let me test. Let me see. It looks like YouTube is not on there. Ah, yeah, that's why. Got it. Let me get YouTube up on there. The broadcaster. I'm wondering if I want to do Rumble, but Rumble's been acting up lately. But I should try it again. Here we go. There we go. Why are those people talking like this guy moaning about ripoffs? Did he make Spider-Man 2 and he's crying about it apparently? Well, this is Synth Potato. Let me tell you something about this. Okay. Let's start off with this because I want to talk about something else. Let me bring you guys up on here. Okay. So, Synth Potato, he is I guess a content creator, but, you know, blue checker, probably just focuses on video games and trying to review video games. He's been having some L's here and there, but just a normal guy, but I'm gonna recognize this L right here alone because it says, "Hey Insomniac, can I copy your homework? Looking game. How do these gacha games get away with straight up ripping off Spider-Man? Not saying swinging mechanics shouldn't be done but these are literally the Spider-Man 2 animations. Yes, you are. You know how when you come up to somebody and they talk about not saying that you're doing this, but delete everything after they say but. You know what I mean? Delete everything that they said after but. Because that's exactly what they're saying. That's exactly what they're saying. Come on now. Come on now. And so here's Spider-Man. And then there's that. And this is perfectly fine. This is perfectly fine. We need to stop doing this whole crying and bitching about like patents and stuff like that. If anything, this is a sign or a show that they enjoy Spider-Man. Like, you know, imitation is the greatest form of flattery. Oh, what? A game has guns, so I can't have a gun game. A game has characters doing like a bunch of knights, but I can't have a bunch of knights in my game. You see what I'm saying? We're over here talking about animations. Like we can't do animations. It's fucking ridiculous. It's fucking ridiculous. Sony don't care, they promote it. I hope that they do. I really hope that they do, because people lately have been throwing patents back and forth, especially Nintendo. This is no problem. If a gacha game wants to do this, they'll do it, and that's fine. I'm cool with that. Now, if they do a Spider-Man game, and they're not allowed to do a Spider-Man game, you know, there's rights for that. But a lot of people are having a pushback with this. A lot of people just call out for being lazy. That's fair to say. Okay, yeah, see, that's fair to say. You want to do that? You want to call it for being lazy? Okay, that's cool. But to make it be like, oh shit, well, you can't have that. You're ripping them off. It's like, so? Zelda? Every time when you float around in Zelda with a parachute, now a gacha game has a parachute, and be like, oh, you're copying Zelda. Really? Really? One person says, no, you can't copy from my beloved multi-billion-dollar Sony. How dare you? Yeah, just really. Looks much better though, and hopefully no Mary Jane equivalent is shoved down our throats. You're the kind of snitch bitch that went to Nintendo and was like, look at Power World. I agree with that. That's the kind of shit I fucking hate. Okay, but should that mean that other games can't use them? If a game has guns, you don't say, oh no, you can't use guns because COD uses guns. It's like, nobody is saying that. You are literally saying that. You are literally saying that. The same animations, and you're like, 1-to-1, bruh. You're literally saying that. You're literally saying that. This is obviously using animations that look near identical to Insomniac Spider-Man that makes it seem like they ripped it off. You do know that when you're swinging around on a rope, you're going to have the same animations. You do know that, right? When you're swinging around on a rope, you're gonna have the same animations. Here's another example. When there's Tony Hawk Pro Skater, and then there's a snowboarding game, there's a good chance that the snowboarding game, like SX Tricky, and Tony Hawk Pro Skater, some of the moves are gonna be the same. Some of them are gonna be the same. Or Tony Hawk Pro Skater and Skate. You're gonna have the same moves. I want to see where this rabbit hole goes down. If you swung through the air, how do you expect people to move? That's what I just said. If either is identical or it isn't, if they rip it off, I'm sure Insomniac has lawyers. You're not on their retainer, man. This isn't some indie studio. It is NetEase. They also made Marvel Rivals. I am sure they know what they can and what they can't put in a game. Isn't NetEase making Marvel Rivals? and they also work with Marvel Studios, so that makes them able to do whatever the fuck they want. NetEase works with Marvel, so NetEase makes this game, the gacha game. So I'm fairly certain that if you put this side by side with Insomniac games, they wouldn't not in any way, shape, or form be direct rips. And if you want to go that far, you'd then be forced to argue Insomniac was ripping off the old Triac movie trilogy games. It's just movement, same like swimming. Like, wait, you know, there's animations for swimming, so, you know, a lot of people are upset with what he says. This person says, holy shit, I can play an Insomniac game and I can play a gacha game. And then he says, understandable reaction. Where was your fucking reaction to that shit? Week 1, Nintendo shouldn't be able to patent a gameplay mechanic. Week 2, how are they allowed to make this like Spider-Man? Third-person adventure shooters a lot of time have the same animations. They do have a lot of the same animations. As a matter of fact, a lot of these motherfuckers like to use the same engine. They like to use the same engine and the same models. This is why everybody's talking about like, oh man, they're copying from this. And I'm over here just like, well, a lot of you use Unity or NVIDIA, okay? And when I play certain video games, I see the same assets. I see the same shit. And a lot of developers, especially AAA developers, do the same thing that another AAA developer does. So, do we want to go into a whole patent warfare? I don't want that. He should accuse FromSoft of ripping off their Repulse animation from DS3 and putting it in Elden Rings. That's the same company, but yeah. Seems like he just likes Insomniac very, very much so. I don't think so. I think he's just getting in his fucking feelings. I don't think he's that deep into the conversation. Corporal Glazer sad. Yeah, I'm gonna be for real. Do not glaze corporations about what they're doing with their AAA studios. Can we stop doing this? Okay, listen, I'm all for indies doing great and wonderful things with their game, but what I'm not gonna do is come up to here and be like, oh, a AAA game, GTA 6 sort of gacha game. Only GTA can make a GTA game. You know what I mean? Because that's what this gacha game is. It's like this is like a GTA open world sort of game. And the last thing I want to hear from somebody is like, oh, you can't make a gacha GTA because we already got a GTA game. No. I am going to firmly, because if we do this whole let's help out the AAA developers, then those AAA developers will fight back hard. They will fight back hard. I do not want to do that. Because then every studio, like they've always been doing with these AAA developers, especially Borderlands, which we'll talk about, they'll put certain things like patents. They'll make multiple DLCs. They'll split up the full game. They'll Bloodlines 2. They'll take away 2 important factions and then put it into the Ultimate Edition. They'll do all these things to be like, oh well, the fans will have our side. They'll have our back. No. I want the AAA developers to know that we could ditch them at any given moment. Okay, if we start letting them know, if we start giving AAA developers a big head at what they can and can't do, then damn it, they will fucking do it. They will do whatever it takes to make they will slap every other indie game that, perfect example, Shadow of Mordor. The what's it called? The patent for the Nemesis system. That's the one I'm talking about. Everybody said, oh shit, the Nemesis system is so groundbreaking. It's so cool, so awesome. And then Warner Brothers said a lot of people like the Nemesis system. Let's put a patent on it. Yeah, let's put a patent on it. Nobody's gonna use it. We have no games right now, but nobody's gonna do the fucking Nemesis system. Because they love us, right? No. That's the shit I'm talking about. So when I see like some developers doing some stuff like, oh man, we're gonna swing around and shit, no. I do not. This is why I really do not like Nintendo, because where do I go? Everybody knows about Nintendo's lawyers and how they fucking sue multiple people, and how grotesque they can be to like regular people. They will shut your shit down. The only people that countersued and won against Nintendo was a small mom and pop shop called the Super Mario Brothers, because literally the family that owns that, the person's name is Mario, and his brother, and it's run by Mario and his brothers. And then Nintendo went after them, and that didn't work out for Nintendo. That was the only one. It's the only one. The only one that won. Because these AAA another example, Borderlands 4, which we're going to talk about with Randy Pitchford. That guy, these motherfucking AAA developers have big fucking heads. As a matter of fact, with Insomniac Games, if I remember correctly, the developers were like, well, nobody likes the fucking Mary Jane like side quest where you go around playing as Mary Jane. And then what did he say? He said, well, I'm just gonna do more Mary Jane missions. That's what he said. That's what he said. He said, oh, people are mad about us adding Mary Jane as a side quest. Well, I'm gonna do more Mary Jane. Nice job, dude. They literally have been asking and begging you, stop doing these side missions of Mary Jane so they can be Spider-Man in the Spider-Man game. And you literally just go like, no, not gonna do it. See, that's the kind of big-headed, like pig-headedness that I don't like. So many people tried using it, the Nemesis system. Yeah, they tried. So he's like, anyway. It's the meme of the fat guy wearing the fedora saying, leave my multi-billion-dollar company alone. Yeah, exactly. It's exactly. It's pretty much this. Like, he's like, leave my multi-billion company alone. It is. I'm sorry. It is. Ever since Nintendo fought, I think since Nemesis system with Shadow of Mordor, my mind has been thinking that I really don't like AAA developers, but I would still play AAA games. But when we reached Power World and Nintendo, like, when we reached the Power World and Nintendo shit, that's when I really did like AAA developers. I really don't. Bro, your Mary Jane is discount Lewis Lane? What do you mean? Mary Jane Mass Effect, like, boss fight was so stupid. Oh, yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, it's the fact that her gun was wiping people out faster than Spider-Man was fucking ridiculous. At the end of the day, he's getting his panties in a twist on behalf of some faceless company and saying nothing else. Just a bitchy post for engagement. Yeah, it pretty much is. Anyway. Let us talk about, since I want to talk about this, we've literally been talking about this. So I hope the music is good enough. Alright. So lately, Randy Pitchford has been constantly telling people over and over and over again that the Borderlands 4 game is highly optimized. You should get a better PC. He's like, you should do this and that. You guys are wrong. I'm right. Yada yada. A lot of people that are not affiliated with Randy Pitchford have been saying, bro, you are sinking the ship. You are sinking the ship. Well, you're putting water on the boat. You are sinking the ship. Shut the fuck up. So, right now, Veridark will tell us the sales of Borderlands 4 and see how well it has been doing. Let's go ahead and dive in.
It is so sad that so many studios out there think it is acceptable to launch a game in a buggy and broken state, and now it looks like they're starting to get a taste of their own medicine, as sales reports suggest that Borderlands 4 sold way slower than 3. I have a few different things to show off, but before I get into the topic, if you enjoy the content I create, check out the links in the description, join the community in my live streams, and consider supporting through Patreon or YouTube memberships. Now,
yeah. He basically did the Fraud Howard. I'm using Fraud Howard, Bobby. I've never fucking heard that before. I'm using Fraud Howard. That is fucking ingenious. Fraud Howard for customizing your PC. Like, it's your fault. This is why I try desperately not to do the fake frames because it's a bunch of bullshit. But anyway, let's continue.
Think this game had so many terrible things going for it. First of all, you had Randy Pitchford making extremely controversial statements, and then the technical difficulties on top of that, plus the feedback and really what boiled down to backlash surrounding the story direction they went in just was a recipe for disaster. Months ago, Randy Pitchford had said, if you're a real fan, you'll find a way to spend $80 on this game, which...
You remember when he told you that, if you're a real fan, you could afford $80, and then he also called you guys premium fans, like we're just a bunch of fucking walking dollars? No, I've never heard somebody call somebody premium fans. Never heard that before. And then, when he said $80 and then the game came out as $70, how much do you want to bet that was Randy Pitchford's work? You remember when he said, oh shit, guys, the $80 game, man, it's not my call. Nigga, you think we're gonna believe you? Really?
Was terrible and completely out of touch given the economic state of the world, but you also have to pair that with his statements at launch where he was basically acting like tech support on social media and then saying, stop being poor. He said you needed to get a better computer and you could only expect their game to do so much on a bad build, which is
on a cel-shaded game. The graphics barely have changed, and it's a cel-shaded game. So it's probably CPU heavy. So when you make a game that has a cajillion or trillions of guns, you want to make sure that the CPU and the game is consistent with not only the what's it called? The Unreal Engine 5. You gotta work on not only optimizing, because it's only 30% Unreal Engine 5 developers' problem, and the rest is 70% optimization with the developers' problem. You see what I'm saying? Most of the problem is from developers not optimizing their game. They are ready to add stuff to the game. They're ready to put stuff into the game. They're ready to do little Easter eggs on the game. But as soon as that they hear, you gotta optimize the game. Oh, but that's boring. Optimize the game? can I add like I don't know, like I don't know. Can I add another boss battle? That's basically what's happening. There's a lot of laziness with AAA developers lately, and this is the reason why. Like, Randy Pitchford maybe likes his developers, maybe. But I strongly believe that he's too negligent with his developers. You see, he's the type of person that would befriend, well, let's remember, he's got porn on a fucking, like, you remember that? He had porn on a USB stick. I mean, put it on your fucking computer like a real man. What are you doing putting it on a USB? What did you need that for? I mean, you see what I'm saying? He comes off as the person that wants to be nice to everybody. He's the type of person that would say to his own children that I'm your friend, I'm your buddy. Whereas actuality, if you're a CEO, you are not friends with your employees. You appreciate your employees, you want to take care of your employees, but they are your employees at the end of the day. You want to make sure that you reach this said goal. But everything is, hey, instead of optimizing my game, how about I play a little acoustic guitar? How about that, hey? You know what I mean? Don't worry about that boring stuff. Let's just sit at a campfire and do magic tricks with our dicks or something. That's Randy Pitchford.
Insane. And then he went into...
I say this because I've worked with a person just like Randy Pitchford where he's always nice and always plays games. And I'm just like, bro, that's great and all, but we have to work. That's the kind of person he is.
Hey, why don't you make a game yourself? Code your own engine and show us how it's done, please.
I like how it says he says code your own engine, and then it's a picture of him pointing at you. Code your own engine, boy. Shooter. Code your own engine.
He's just pointing it at you.
You know what? I'm going to give him props for having good hair. That's it. That's it. A lot of people his age would kill to have that kind of hair. Implants, I don't know, maybe, but hats off to the hair. The rest of your conduct, piss poor.
We will be your customers when you pull it off. The people doing it now were clearly dumb and don't know what they're doing, and all the support.
I'm sorry, what did you say? We will be your customer when you pull it off. The people doing it now are clearly dumb and don't know what they're doing. What? Did he call his own employees dumb? Or did he call the customer dumb? Probably both. Let's go back.
And recommendations in code and architecture from the
no,
world's
let's go
great
back.
when you pull it off. The people doing it now were clearly dumb and don't know what they're doing, and all the support and recommendations in code and architecture from the world's greatest hardware companies and tech companies working with the world's greatest real-time graphics engine coders don't know what you seem to know. /sarcasm, just not acting like a professional CEO.
That /sarcasm is not going to work. That /sarcasm is not going to work. You can't just slap sarcasm at the end like somebody's gonna go like, oh, he's just being sarcastic. No, nigga. No. If I tell my dad that I'm not going to mow the lawn, even though he told me to do the lawn 3 times, and then I say, well, I haven't seen my sister do the lawn, I haven't seen my brother do the lawn, I've been doing great, I didn't walk on the grass. I mean, if anything, I feel like my dad should mow the lawn. Hashtag sarcasm at the end. Boy, my dad would whip my ass. My dad, all you would see is just a floating child that's flying into the backyard, right to the fucking like lawnmower. Just that would be you don't. That's It's not sarcastic. This is exactly how he feels.
At all whatsoever, but now with the
Well, isn't that the issue? They got rid of their engines and using some universal engine. A lot of developers, just like CD Projekt Red, are getting rid of their engine, which was a good engine. It's because they don't know how. They're hiring new people. They're hiring new people that have used the Unreal Engine, Unity engine, or have not done any game development at all. Hiring new bloods that don't know anything. They'll let the veterans teach the new people, which is kind of nice. That's kind of good. But then they'll fire the veterans of the video game industry, keep the new ones, and they'll be like, I don't know what to do. And then everybody will be like, well, let's just use Unreal Engine 5. That's what everybody else is doing. And then they look at Unreal Engine 5 and they're just like, I think I know how to use this because, you know, it's available for everyone else. And so the beautiful Red engine is like gone from CD Projekt Red, and Borderlands had their own engine, and their old heads, most of them are gone. So it's just a bunch of new people that are just like, oh yeah, I know how to do that.
the issues at launch that the game faced, plus with
Also, I think Tekla brings up something kind of interesting, is that he says devs telling us to code an engine while they just threw in their in-house engine into the trash. Yes. Yes. Exactly. Exactly. And let me add this. Let me add this. If you're a CEO, you want to hire the biggest and brightest game developers that you can find, correct? And then you want to nurture and make sure that these brightest students come in, and then make sure that they align with what your values are towards that company, correct? And then when the learning starts to pull through with the new developers, and then you keep the veterans as long as they want to stay, make sure that the veterans, when they're teaching the new people, that they get higher severance, because not only are they staying with the team, but they're teaching new people anything that they've learned over the past. That I think they deserve something. That's what a CEO would do. That's what I would do, because you would nurture the ones that have been taking care of your company. Duh. And then you move on from there to where it's just like, all right, if we're going to keep this engine, let's teach them this engine that we got. Or if you want to throw away the engine and go for Unreal Engine 5, which is a horrible idea, then you have to make sure that you have all your ducks in a row. If you come out of nowhere and say, well, you should do your own engine, it means you failed as a CEO. You failed as a CEO, because this is why he's doing a clapback, because this shows that he failed as a CEO. It's like coming up to you guys while you're at work and saying like, hey, you're not doing a good job. And then of course you would get angry or pissed off or rant about it. That's exactly what Randy Pitchford is doing, because he's getting in his feelings, because he knows it's his fault.
with his comments and also the backlash surrounding the story direction, it looks like Borderlands 4 is off to a very bad start, because it has sold 2.5 million copies, but this is less than half of Borderlands 3's launch sales. According to the latest newsletter written by Reese Elliott of Alina, Borderlands 4 has so far managed to sell 2 million copies, and we know that the number was updated to 2.5. They further broke down the numbers for them, revealing that half of those sales have been on Steam, where the game has been drawing high concurrent player counts. If these numbers are accurate, they're a bit soft. Borderlands 3 managed to sell 5 million copies in its first 5 days, as confirmed by publisher Gearbox at the time. That means Borderlands 4 has achieved less than half of those sales in roughly the same amount of time. It's worth remembering that BL4 launched at 70 versus BL3, which launched at 60, and I do think that this is also a problem. It's
a problem because Borderlands 3 came out and a lot of people came to play your game, correct? Yes, they played Borderlands 2, they're ready for Borderlands 3. That's how I felt. I think I played the tank girl. She was the fucking best. However, everybody recognizes that Borderlands 3 was, and the story was straight up dog trash. The gameplay, awesome. It seems like lately, the developers that work on the video game mechanics, like when it comes to the gameplay and the combat, the developers for that are on point. 2 thumbs up. They are ready to make gameplay. However, the writing team are a whole different beast. The world building team are a whole different beast, because they are not here to be like, oh, they're not like, oh shit, well, I like, you know, guns and stuff. No, they're just here to make a story. And when they give you the story, they're just like, they're not focused on the gameplay so much. They're focused on the story. And let me tell you, the story for Borderlands 3 was straight up dog shit, Mary Sue shit. It was a bunch of bullshit. It just was. It was fucking gay, and it was trans, and it was trash. Everybody recognizes it. Everybody knows. Okay? Nobody liked it. The jokes were horrible. The main antagonist was pure and utter dog shit. Now, they recognized that for Borderlands 4, and what they did was they died down. They went a little bit more serious with Borderlands 4's story. I watched some of it, but a lot of it was real bland. Like, we told them, hey, your jokes need to be funnier, and the story needs to have more depth. We need to go back to Borderlands 2 and have great stories. I think all they heard was die down the jokes. That's it. I don't think they heard anything about how be funnier and have a better story. I don't think they heard that part. All they heard was die down the fucking humor, like the trashy humor that they had in Borderlands 3. They heard that and went full in. They went full in on that. But when it came to the story, they were just like slapping generic boss number 1, 2, and 3. And I was just like, sure. Now, there is one part that I was happy about later on in Borderlands 4. I haven't played it, but I watched the story. There was one part that I was happy about, and I'm not going to spoil it. But I'm going to be honest with you. Like, that was it. That was the only thing that I was happy about. Oh, cool. I liked that. I really liked that. And then it went back to being plain. It went back to being plain. I like how everybody liked Handsome Jack and how fucking disgusting and deplorable Handsome Jack is. And he was a dude that was shorter than me that looked normal and I guess handsome because his name is Handsome Jack. You threw in all these cool looking bosses in Borderlands 4 and they don't match the amount of charisma or interesting like parallel to Handsome Jack. Handsome Jack is shorter than me. He's small, but his level of charisma makes you continue the game. Also, the jokes were better on Borderlands 2 as well. But you see all these bigger players in Borderlands 4 and you're like, oh, I wonder what they're gonna say. No, they say nothing. All they say is, ah, yes, I'm going to control this world. Ah, yes, I will become the leading, I'll find all the vaults and I will control this world. And I'm like, okay, all right, that's it. That's it. And so when people see Borderlands 4, they're just like, well, I don't want to have what we had in Borderlands 3. And then we got to couple it with Randy Pitchford, who is being a downright dumbass, who I'm pretty sure the game developers that are working with Gearbox are just like, Randy, please shut the fuck up. Please shut the fuck up. Please stop talking. Please. If I worked with Randy Pitchford, I'd be like, yo, please shut up, bro. Please stop talking, bro. Please. They can't say anything because it's their fucking boss.
There's so many gamers out there who will not buy at launch because it is too expensive, and I really never recommend buying a game at release unless it is like half the price, unless it's like a Silk Song or even an Expedition 33 where it's such a high level of quality and it also isn't.
Any game over $60, I'm just not buying it. That's just point blank, period. I'm not gonna do this whole $70 shit for, like, for example, how much is Silent Hill F? A perfect example. Silent Hill F is $70. I watched Silent Hill F. That game is not worth $70. $60 maybe. $70? No.
A $70 or $80 game. But I think that it's usually smarter to just wait for a game to go on sale because that happens really quickly. It's not like it takes 2 or 3 years. Most games go on sale 3 to 4 months after launch. It says it isn't helping that Borderlands 4 has faced a rough launch. PC players especially have not been happy with the technical performance, citing poor optimization as a major problem, and when it released, it had launched to mostly negative reviews over this. Borderlands 4 had finally arrived, but for some...
I want you guys to notice this. Monster Hunter Wilds, that is more famous, it just is. Monster Hunter Wilds, just like Monster Hunter Worlds, but a little bit different. Monster Hunter Worlds came out and it was a buggy mess, but they fixed it and people were okay with it. Monster Hunter Wilds came out and it was another piece of buggy mess bullshit again. And it still got a lot of money because people are trying to trust Capcom. They are trying. They are trying their best. But it's at a breaking point right now. It's at a breaking point right now with Capcom with Monster Hunter Wilds using the Re-engine. It's not the Unreal Engine 5 engine, but the Re-engine. Re-engine is not built for open world. It is built for games like Resident Evil 9 Requiem. It is built for small areas. And if you can't even do small areas, then what the fuck are you doing? See, when you bring out the game and it's a buggy mess and you don't have a conversation with your not only your developers but also with the fans, and you don't do a we are doing a work. First of all, you shouldn't be doing it at all. You should have your game ready at day one. If you're not, your mind focus is... This is your mind focus if you're a CEO at Capcom or even at Gearbox. This is your motive. You put a time and date, and I'm pretty sure the developers have said, hey, we do not have enough time. We still need to optimize the game. And then the CEO goes, we'll be fine. These losers are still going to buy the game. That's what it is. Now, I could be wrong. But I have not seen these developers say anything of the sort where it's like, yo, it's our bad, it's our fault, my bad, we should have had this correct. Do not blame my developers, blame me. We will fix it. We should have had this done before the launch. I'm sorry. I have not seen that. I have not, and hats off to KCD, Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, for having a highly optimized game with a lot of its like stuff in the game, because they had that shit set up. Say what you will about KCD 2, they had that shit squared away. So when you see Randy Pitchford pull off this shit where it's like, oh, everything's fine, everything's fine, it's not fine, because you knew, your developers probably knew and told you they're not ready, and you didn't listen. Because this is how people are going to look at you. They're going to look at you and be like, oh, you don't give a fuck about me. You just assume that I'm just going to buy all your games. This is why people come to me and say, hey, are you going to buy Borderlands? No, they don't care about me. And it's true.
The big occasion hadn't quite gone to plan. Before launch, there were a lot of concerns regarding its potential performance, especially on PC. Gearbox CEO Randy Pitchford claimed it would be unplayable on anything below minimum specs.
What's
and
up,
a
Shannon?
promo video of Conan O'Brien's Clueless Gamer series that featured the game crashing didn't do much to alleviate fears. So, just a few hours after release, it had already managed to hit mostly negative reviews on Steam, with the vast majority of them complaining about performance issues, and it has gone up quite a bit since, but we're still not talking about it being overwhelmingly positive or anything like that.
Nope.
It says, though, it's even worse the further you dive into the reviews, as a lot of the positive ones also mention that there are problems with optimization,
Jesus.
input lag, and stuttering, which are at their worst when there are a lot of enemies on screen. From these reviews, it sounds as though Borderlands 4 is in a pretty rough shape for anyone that doesn't have a supercomputer to hand, and I know I have a pretty good computer. It's really new. It's a 9950 X3D, 96 gigs of RAM, 5080, and even I had problems.
I want you guys to know, if you have a worse computer than mine, I have a 4060 Ti with a really good CPU, top of the line. I have SSDs and HDs. I still get problems here and there. I still do. Borderlands, Monster Hunter Wilds, and a lot of these games with Unreal Engine 5 keep on proving to us that our computers are just fine the way they are. It's the developer's problem because they don't know how to optimize. We are getting a lot of new heads that are exactly who they are. New heads. I said a 4060 Ti. Shut up, bitch. Anyway, I have a really good computer and it runs very, very well. But I've seen people with, 1660s and, they still have problems. I've seen people with 5080s still have problems. I've seen people have constant crashes. Didn't Conan O'Brien crash on Borderlands 4? Oh boy.
It says, though, you also have a couple of reviews once again blaming Unreal Engine 5 for the issues, and while Epic says it's not the engine's fault but the developers using it, you can't blame fans for thinking it's the problem. Either way, developers should not be releasing games in the state. Studios should not be releasing products half-assed like this. They should be taking the extra time to deliver a high-quality experience, because I actually think that the Borderlands 4 combat is pretty fun, and I like quite...
Here's the thing, though. This is what you should do as a CEO. You keep the engine that you know and start from there. And then what you do is you have a class. You have a class on the side at your job. You have a class on your side, and this class is pretty much focused on learning about Unreal Engine 5 and how it works. You take like maybe a max of 20 or 30 developers, and the class is optional, and you learn about the Unreal Engine 5, and you learn it with your CEO or anybody who's, lower than the CEO, and you think to yourself, is the Unreal Engine 5 for us or is it not? What benefits and what sort of what benefits, what plus, what are the pros and cons of switching to the Unreal Engine 5? You have these conversations and go like, okay, I don't think it's good enough, because if we do an Unreal Engine 5, then we're gonna have to relearn, and we're gonna have to share money with Unreal, with Nvidia. We don't want to do that. We don't want to split up the money bit by bit, because we're using, I think, how much is it for using Unity or Unreal Engine 5? Like, they have to get, I think Unreal Engine gets, I think those people get a cut for using their engine. I forgot, but they do get a cut. I just don't know how much. But you look at that and be like, oh, okay, we know how to use the engine and we could probably do something with it. Or you go like, okay, class is up. This is going to be the last class. We've tried the Unreal Engine 5 and it's just not for us. This will be the last class. Thank you, everybody, for showing up. Appreciate you. We're going to stick with the old engine. Nope. These developers go out and go, is that a new engine? Can we make every game look like Last of Us Part 2? Okay, grab the engine and put it in. No, throw out the old engine. but we're still using it. Like, they do it so fast that it makes your fucking head spin. They do it so fucking fast. There's no thought process to it. They're just like, Unreal Engine 5? Oh shit, put it in. Get rid of the old thing. It's like the equivalent of you being a toddler playing an old system. You pull out the fucking cartridge, you pull out the old game, you put in the new game, blow on it, and then you slam that shit in. And I'm just like, good lord, man, you don't want to think about it? Can you even use it? Well, this is what they do. They say, we'll learn along the way. We'll learn along the way.
Quite a bit of the level design, and I don't think that it is the worst game I've ever played, but with the technical difficulties, it just severely damaged my image of this game, and a lot of other people agree, and honestly, I'm glad to see that this game isn't selling as well as they expected with the way that Randy Pitchford has acted, with the way that they thought they could get away with launching a game buggy and broken like this. And it's just sad to see so many games that, yes, people were excited for release like this. It is unacceptable, and I really can't think of any other industries that release products that are so far from their goal. Obviously, I get not everything is going to release 100% perfect. I can deal with a few small bugs and glitches here and there, as long as they're not game breaking and they don't corrupt save files and stuff like that, and I don't get stuck up, but you know, behind a wall or something or under the map and I can't fix it. But this is just horrific for so many reasons, and that's why so many people are upset. Slower than 3, they were giving that shit away like candy post-launch because it wasn't doing well. Wow. Usually games...
I do remember that. They were passing off the game for free. I was like, what the fuck? That was kind of awkward.
Perform in the launch window based on how good the previous one was. BL3 did well because it was coming off widely acclaimed games. BL4 is following up a misstep, which also is, yeah, a very good point. It's because 3 was the gayest, wokest slop I've ever played in my life. Yeah, I definitely don't agree there. I think it was pretty bad, but I still think Kill the Justice League and Dustborn and Concord were way worse. The franchise went from gunning down psycho midgets to literally the most insufferable writing I've ever encountered. I guess they won't get to 100 million. LOL. I think it's because 3 was on the heels of 2, and 2 was a cult classic.
Yeah, they're pretty much saying the same thing that I'm saying. Is like, hey, we learned from Borderlands 3 that this is where you're going. We also saw Tiny Tina. That shit was even more gay. So we're really not following suit. And now we see Borderlands 4. Now, we're probably not, we're gonna look at it and maybe purchase it, but all in all, there's too many games that we got in backlog, and we're probably not gonna play that game. So, yeah. So that's pretty much it. I will send you guys the video right here. Follow Vera Dark. Really smart woman. Yeah, dude. They messed up. They messed up. Yep. They're watch how quick you were gonna see a discount on Borderlands 4. Watch. Now, I have wanted to watch this update with you. Made in Ukraine. Dope. Let's watch this real quick. So, Stalker 2 Heart of Chernobyl has a new showcase for 1.6. And I am excited to go back into Stalker 2 with you guys, but not at this moment. But I'm excited to see this showcase and see what they got going on. We're going to follow this, and then we're going to see a Juicehead video on what they added. But let's go ahead and see what Stalker... I will get back into Stalker 2 just later. Night of the Hunter update 1.6.
A night vision device. I had one back when I served. This was...
Wait a minute. Didn't they have a night vision goggle? No, they did not have night vision. No, I was surprised that they did not have night vision. Okay. All right. Cool.
Sure come in handy in the zone.
Like, I was already stealthy in this game already. This is just adding more fuel to the fire, and I like it. If you're not gonna get Splinter Cell, you're gonna get this.
Be quick about it. My tea's getting cold. I can fix anything for enough coupons.
New female NPCs, faces, and hair. Wait, what? Huh? What? This is part of the update? What? I mean, I recognize you for having, you know, recognizing there's two genders, but what? New female NPCs, faces, and hair? Okay, alright, cool. I've seen these upgrades. They're familiar. Aiming through has a, ooh. So the reticle will have, with the GP37. Nice, nice. Holy shit, look at the price on the top right. Holy shit. Is there better ways of getting money now? I hope so. That's a lot of money. That's kind of, whatever. Alright. Is that a new monster? No. Offset aiming. Yeah, the offset aiming, I did notice that you can have the side one. I thought they had it, but no, they didn't.
I get scared.
NPCs loot mutants. Can we loot mutants? Is that a new thing? I love how immersive the game is.
Fate is fate. Whatever needs to happen will happen.
Anomaly, fireball, fuck that. Fuck that. Oh, they can get night vision goggles too? Fuck me. Alright. Rebalance loot and stashes? What do you mean? Rebalance loot and stashes? What does that mean? Oh, wait. That is more loot than... Whoa! You usually do not see this much loot in a chest. Maybe I'm wrong. Well, let's continue. I'm not used to seeing that much loot. Okay, alright, let's continue. Course tweaks, local save backup, and restorations. Cool. That's cool. That's cool. Alright, so let's watch Juicehead's mission. Let's see how excited people are. The most important thing for the game right now is optimization. I hope it gets fixed soon, but I'm glad that at least now the game is getting better with each patch. In a few months, GSC will update engine to the new version of UE. Why? They said big optimization update will come with engine update. I assume it will be the 2.0 version. Okay. Which has historically never fixed performance issues for the Unreal Engine 5 game on its own. This guy just said you just need to have a better PC. Is this Randy Pitchford? Stop blaming the engine when it's lazy devs relying on things like DLSS too much get educated. I'm gonna go with this guy. Control curves tweaks. I read it wrong and I was greatly disappointed. Okay, let's see the video on this one.
Earlier today, Stalker 2 got a new update. For me on GOG, this is a 64.63 gigabyte download. This is patch 1.6, being dubbed Night of the Hunt, as new missions and even night vision was finally added into Stalker 2. This being one of the most long requested features that of course was present in past games. And something a ton of people are missing is all of this is even kicking off a new ARG for Stalker 2, so stick around to the end of this video to learn more about that, as it seems like more content is coming. But what is easily the biggest of the changes changes around this update is the addition of NVGs, night vision goggles, into Stalker 2. This being a
Question. Why is it that the night vision goggles gives you like a circle to like, I mean, I get it. When you have two eyeballs and then you have two goggles and you look through your head, you're going to see one big you're not going to see one big circle. You're going to see like the whole thing in green. Why is it just a circle?
available for both you as well as other NPCs. And while this on its own is huge, it is also accompanied by an AI stealth detection and long-range combat overhaul, which all comes together to really take this update to the next level. So now in Stalker 2, from both vendors as well as stashes, you could find NVGs. This is a stash with a Gen 1 version.
How much is it?
Vendors all comes together to really take this update to the next level. So now in Stalker 2, from both vendors as well as stashes, you could find NVG.
50k? Of course it's 50k. Of course it's 50k. Alright. Yeah, it's 50k. Alright.
This is a stash with a Gen 1 version that you could easily loot relatively early on, but many vendors also have these distributed to them. Although if you do go to a vendor and find it's not in their inventory, do note you may have to reset their inventories for the NVGs to pop up here. And you may even notice some vendors look a bit different now with some of the female appearances were updated.
Yeah, they look hotter. Good job. Good job. This is a good update. This is a good job. Good job. She was already looking cute, but this is even better.
But once you find an NVG for yourself, you can easily equip it with a new dedicated slot in your inventory.
Nice.
And from there, you can simply activate night vision and go on some night adventures, finally able to see things out ahead of you at least a bit more. Although using an NVG does come with some new restrictions on your character. There are several tiers of night vision goggles. This tier 1 variant I'm using here is only one-eyed, so your field of view is of course much more limited. But from tier 2 and onward, you're going to be using two-eyed NVGs. And at the highest tier, you can even find white variants, making seeing things in the dark a whole lot easier as a whole. Lots of weapons won't function the same here either. Many pistols are fully functional, but rifles, especially those with scopes, will now need to be fired canted with the newly added offset aiming mode. So now when your NVG is equipped, you can angle your weapon to avoid the scope and perhaps take full advantage of the laser sight attachment. Of course, Stalker 2 has had laser sights, but this update added in a new tactical laser attachment that's an even brighter version, so it's more visible in night vision. It actually does work pretty well for unsighted shooting. I was having quite a bit of success with this. But if you do want to actually use your scope, you'll need to attach a new modification onto the stock of many of the weapons in the game that will allow you to do so.
That's a lot of money.
Have that, you can even swap
between. That is a
scope.
lot of money. I hope they added like something to get more money. And they said that they rebalanced the loot, so
scoped firing or canted firing, but only while using an NVG. I know a lot of you playing would probably just love to have this option all of the time, but at least as of right now, it is locked behind using an NVG. And taking these out into combat is a ton of fun, as of course, other NPCs can sometimes have NVGs of their own. So enemies without flashlights or NVGs have much worse detection at nighttime now. Here you can see I am just casually walking past and nobody could tell I'm there. But enemies in general will have a much harder time detecting you initially at nighttime. So while I did find that after I was initially detected by a group, detecting me a second time, even if they lost sight of me, was still pretty common at nighttime, that first detection, the initial time a group is alerted to you, is way more lenient during nighttime with this update.
Okay,
so if you're facing some enemies that don't have an NVG on around nighttime, you can really sneak around people now. And once you are detected, there's going to be more of a point focus from all of this. So you can engage some enemies and then use the cover of darkness to slip away without them noticing. Those enemies are going to keep focusing on or attacking that old position where they think you still are. This giving you the perfect opportunity to flank them and getting some really nice stealth.
You're getting a Splinter Cell sort of thing. That's good. That's good. This is a really good update.
Kills. You'll notice this behavior far more often with this update, just having enemies move.
But it's the performance that's the biggest one. I'm hearing things about the performance that's not too good. I mean, I still got the game I could check, but
moving in on the position you were just in. But now, when you come up against enemies that are using an NVG against you, you're going to notice this. These guys are a little bit ridiculous. They can lock onto you very fast in nighttime, particularly when using higher tier NVGs, it feels like they have lasers. But but this does create a pretty fun combat dynamic. You can try and focus down some of the NVG users in the enemy group, and then use the cover of darkness to pick off the remaining enemies with flashlights who are going to be way less accurate overall. Because in my testing, that was really the biggest difference here. At nighttime, enemy accuracy fell off a cliff if they weren't using NVGs.
That's good. That's good. I think that was one thing that I was just like, man, these motherfuckers got good, like, fucking... Even during the night, they had good, like... They had good aim, but that's good that they fall off a cliff because it's nighttime.
They'd still be able to detect you. Sneaking around in the dark overall is definitely easier with this update, but I still felt like enemies could see me pretty well at nighttime. Like during some of these night encounters, I was definitely surprised by how often I was getting detected by enemies even without any kind of help on their side. I feel like these enemies probably shouldn't be able to spot me here, but enemies are incredibly inaccurate.
That was fucking weird. He just fucking did a 180. No, not a 180. That was like a 90-degree angle, like he just knew where you were.
Accurate in the dark now. You can see here, I'm able to win this fight with ease while using basically no cover. Since enemies can barely see you, they're going to miss the majority of their shots. There's been some further speculation from certain groups of testers, this update as well as all of the future updates are in testing with a closed group, that certain groups of NPCs still have the pre-patch detection, so that's why they can detect you so easily at nighttime. They haven't been nerfed like everyone else. But at least as of right now, it's hard to tell what exactly is going on, and you do seem to get detected a little bit too easily sometimes. But thankfully, they'll miss a lot of their shots, so it does make gunfights at night a lot easier.
How is it with mutants, though? Because with humans, it makes sense. Mutants, they're probably going to see you at night. I'm not sure.
All this is expanded on by the fact that other NPCs are actually going to use cover now. Some of these fights tend to be at medium to longer ranges, and with this update, enemies fighting at that distance are far more likely to get behind cover as they're engaging you. You can see them doing this a ton, and even changing cover positions as I move positions as well. But to go along with this, enemies are also more likely to charge you. From time to time, you might notice that one enemy is charging up against you as some of the other comrades are laying down covering fire for them. Nothing as a part of patch 1.6 was a massive A-Life overhaul, but the stealth and combat changes are really nice, and gameplay and gunfights in general definitely feel different after this one. Combat at night is really the star of the show. It basically got a comprehensive overhaul from all of this, but even beyond that, there were further changes like enemy NPCs also gaining the ability to loot fallen mutants. As well as there is going to be a new mutant harvesting mission featuring Hanta from past Stalker games. They've returned to the zone, and now you can trigger a new mission with them by heading over here and looking for the hunting camp. Once there, Hanta will teach you to hunt mutants, this via several quests that take you to set locations where mutants are located. This will even grant you an early NVD, so if you don't want—
Whoa, you get good money for just that small mission? Okay, alright. I wonder how much you'll get later on.
To have to buy one or search for one, you could just do this mission. And this quest does have some more interesting rewards the deeper you get into it, but I don't want to spoil all of those here. As well as a new anomaly was added with patch 1.6 with Fireball. It's pretty similar to some of the other ones.
I remember that area. Yeah. I could see why they added this anomaly, because in those fire areas, it's actually pretty easy to avoid the fire, and they just added this fire anomaly to piss me the fuck off. So yeah,
it's in game already, but this of course being with a fire theme, which is pretty fun. And beyond all that, there were some nice quality of life changes from this update. The mod browser UX was updated and definitely looks a bit cleaner now. Now pressing J while hovering over a quest marker in the map menu opens the relevant mission entry in the journal. So
thank you. Oh my god, that was annoying. You would have to do a whole animation just to look at your fucking, like, tablet. Now you can just click it on the map. Thank you. Oh my god. Oh yeah, that's good quality of life.
So it makes jumping to the journal entries for some of those nearby quests a lot simpler. A bunch of stashes got NVDs or NVGs, but also were just rebalanced in general, so many will have better loot, and it's definitely worth redoing those. Now when you save the game, it'll make the thumbnail of that save a screenshot of where you were standing. Previously, it was just a stock image always being the same. And they even added in a local save backup restoration option.
Good.
So your locally saved backups can be used to restore one of your save games if it gets corrupted or otherwise.
Thank you, devs. This is really... now, this is not for me, but I think this is very, very kind. Very kind. Very, very kind.
has issues. Both of those being really freaking awesome and huge quality of life improvements, but perhaps most handy of all, you can now sort your player stash items both in your inventory and private box, just making organization and filling in those gaps far simpler. Beyond that, a variety of crash and quest fixes were implemented in some other minor changes, but overall this update is a really solid one. It added in a major new feature as well as fleshed out some of the mechanics around that feature and its gameplay. Some of this definitely felt like it would have been better in patch 1.5, and in general it feels like this update isn't quite as large as some of the previous ones. Obviously we didn't get any huge overhauls to A-Life, and the game overall is still fairly similar if you play during the day.
I thought A-Life was fixed though. Didn't it get fixed? I could have sworn it got fixed. Alright, that's fine.
But I still think this is a really solid patch, although it's kind of a weird one. If you're waiting to play Stalker 2, it might be worth waiting a little bit longer. This is the 2025 roadmap. We can see here that they've actually
Engine update to Unreal Engine 5.5.4 for optimization. Binoculars. Why is... You can't put binoculars in the game? A-Life is not done. More A-Life zone various technical improvements and updates. Okay, these are the ones that are not checked off. New missions from old and new friends. New weather scenario. Master difficulty preset. What the fuck? Okay. When they add the master difficulty preset, we'll play that. But I swear if the master difficulty preset says something like, oh, you get less loot? No. Nope. No, I hate that. I hate that. That's so stupid. That's so dumb. You're out there alone. There are many things that can kill you. Okay? Don't do this like, oh, you're gonna get less loot. And I'm like, why? Why? I don't like it. It's like, oh, you get less loot. It's like, it's only me, myself, and I out there in Stalker 4. Stalker 2. That's it. It's only me, myself, and I. I don't know why they just don't do that. Immersive display mode. Player equipment UI update. I'm interested in seeing that. More UI updates, improvements. Further optimization and anomaly fixing. Zone kit, phase 1 and 2. Audio, modding. Narrative tools. Narrative tools. Create your own stories. What the fuck? Improved compatibility. That's fucking insane to do and create your own story shit. Enhanced blueprints, modification support. I like that. Discord holiday event. I don't give a fuck about that. But that's good.
actually ticked off a few more things.
5.7 preview of Unreal Engine 5 just dropped a day or so ago, so we will get a 5.7 full release in a few weeks. I hope so. The fuck?
Things with the update earlier today, but one of the big looming updates is the move to Unreal Engine 5.5.4. This is a significantly more optimized version of Unreal Engine, and many fans are hopeful that these optimizations will yield even more.
I don't think they're hopeful. I don't know why he said that. Listen, some people are hopeful, but most of us are literally waiting to play Stalker 2 when it's actually fully complete, finished. We've been waiting a very long time. A lot of us are pissed off, and we would like a game that is completely optimized. I don't want to hear anybody say, oh, about the war. Fuck that war, okay? I don't give a fuck about whatever they're going through. I paid for the game. Put the fries in the bag, okay? That's it.
Advanced A-Life features in game, and how in general this update could be the next major batch of overhauls for Stalker 2, the next big jump
I just want to optimize
forward. A lot of the current and ongoing issues with A-Life, or at least how they've been explained thus far, were around optimization and performance. They can only do so much because it would tank the game's performance. So having a bunch of optimizations for the game on an engine level could do really good things for Stalker 2 overall. That update seems to be coming.
From those who tested 5.6 versus 5.7 preview, found that 1% frames was better and better performance overall in editor. 1% frames was better? Just 1%? I don't know. We'll see.
before the end of the year, and perhaps even more. As I mentioned earlier in this video, teases for something are beginning as the DLC may be coming soon. As spotted by MI Smika on Reddit, at 1 minute 25 seconds into the 1.6 update trailer, Morse code can be heard.
Oh, 1% lows of frame. Okay, I understand you. I understand you. Got you, got you.
This can be translated into a string of characters, which you can then further convert a few times into an image link. This being some kind of setup in-game, the most obvious
cool.
edit being these colored squares. Players realize you have to convert these colored squares into their colored codes, this giving you a nice long string, which can be converted yet another time into yet another link, this time for a password-protected zip file, and that's where things stand right now, trying to figure out what the password is for this zip file. I'll have a link to MI Smika's post down below for those interested, but yeah, right now things are really starting to pick up for Stalker 2.
Wait. So what's the code? Was it nothing? Is there more to it? Okay, we're gonna end it here, and I'm gonna follow the guy. No. What's this Morse code? No. Roadmap checklist, ARG. Yeah, another proof that the game just needed another year. Yeah, pretty much. But hey, I'm excited to play it. It's gonna be a while. Anyway, we'll see more. Let's continue, guys. Let's see. We got a big news. Let's go. Okay. Everybody here. So. Hey, how's everybody doing? This is Mr. Hardcore Mode here, where nothing is easy. Warriors and wenches, how y'all doing? And God bless. We have another hard rant for you. This one pertaining to actually YouTube, for people that use YouTube, for people that have gotten banned by YouTube in the last 5+ years, and pretty much probably why you haven't seen some videos like myself and a lot of other videos, and how they've been basically political speech, or that there has been a breach with Google where they've literally committed to they've literally just told us that basically all of you are right. They've been shutting a lot of free speech on YouTube for half of the audience, for half of the amount of content creators. We're talking about Alex Jones. Even have you noticed that there would be a soft, what's the word I'm looking for? There would be a, like, you subscribe to somebody and then you realize that when you go back to their channel that you have somehow been unsubscribed from their channel. Or when you go there and you notice that there's no updates to the channel that you've subscribed to, only to find out that they've been subscribing the whole time. They just haven't seen it on their news feed. So this is what's been happening. Breaking news by Representative Jim Jordan. Due to our oversight efforts, Google commits to offer all creators previously kicked off YouTube due to political speech violations to return to the platform. So basically, let me show you. Let me find it. YouTube admits Right here. Google admits censorship under Biden. Promises to end bans of YouTube accounts of thousands of Americans censored for political speech. For anybody that has been wondering why you haven't been, we're still getting it, by the way. We're still getting it. So don't think that, oh man, we're going to find the people that are responsible and we're going to fire them. No, they're just going to admit it and then things are going to move on, which pisses me the fuck off. So for the people that have been wondering, oh shit, where's this person? Where's that person? Yeah, that's why. That's why. They've been gone. Today, thanks to the oversight of Chairman Jim Jordan, Google commits to offer all creators previously kicked off YouTube due to political speech violations on topics such as COVID-19 and elections an opportunity to return to the platform. Google also admitted the following to the House Judiciary Committee. The Biden administration pressured Google to censor Americans and remove content that did not violate YouTube's policies. The Biden administration's censorship pressure was unacceptable and wrong. Public debate should never come at the expense of relying authorities. So this is like a big thing. This is for everybody and all people, because this is also happening with the UK. This is the censorship that I'm fucking talking about. By the way, censorship can come from the left or right. It doesn't fucking matter. Everybody's trying to censor something. Somebody's trying to censor video games, anime. They're trying to censor people for what they believe in, whether or not they're like I'm pretty sure Charlie Kirk's been like fucking like, what's the word where you're not banned or blocked, but less people have been showing your sort of site or your videos or your stream. I think it's called god damn, it's gone out of my head. Not a soft lock. I would say like a soft ban or something like that. Something where it's just like you're not banned. They just hide you, where they just put you all the way in the back, where you're used to seeing like, oh man, this person gets a lot of views. Or let's say, for instance, Moist Critical, he gets a lot of views, obviously, from his videos, but all of a sudden he gets 2,000 views when he usually gets like 300k views or 1 million views for his 15-minute videos. And then out of nowhere, it's 1,000 or 2,000 views. And then you're wondering, what the fuck? I didn't see the video. It's not anywhere. It's like, oh, there it is. I had to go to your site to actually see it, when you should see your subscriptions. That sort of nonsense is probably still here, and it needs to be directed. I like how the irony right there. Kamala Harris says, look, let's be honest, Donald Trump's Twitter account should be suspended. And then later on, she's like, what we are witnessing is an outright abuse of power. This administration is attacking critics and using fear as a weapon. But same thing. Same thing. Same thing. Same thing. So, right now, people are experiencing a restriction on their YouTube videos. There should be a restriction thing on your settings, where if you turn off restricted videos, you'll be able to see me. I cuss like a sailor, so you probably can't see my videos. So there's that. Also, the fact that that YouTube is actually funneling views to where they're a lot of people that usually get like a good decent amount of views, now they're just not getting no views out of fucking nowhere, even though they've worked really hard. That's happening as well. This is why a lot of people are running over to Rumble, because YouTube, they just can't trust YouTube. They just can't trust YouTube right now. Rumble and Kick, and even though Kick is questionable, obviously, but Rumble is probably the best place to be at this moment. I'm still looking into Rumble. And so this is the kind of stuff, the censorship that we're talking about here, that is actually absolutely corrosive. Now, I want people to look at this and be like, listen, you're gonna get people that disagree with you try to censor you, but also it's going to happen on the right side too. It's gonna happen from the left. It's gonna happen to the right. Right now, there's banning happening of anime in America right now, which is fucking downright. I hope some of these bills that are trying to be passed is where they're trying to ban porn or they're trying to ban like anime, and I'm just over here like, well, why don't you just take care of your kids and make sure they're not looking at porn? How about the parents try to, you know, do the parenting? But let's step back into the topic, because this is the kind of shit that we're actually talking about, where you guys were right the whole fucking time, of people trying to silence somebody's voice that they disagree with. It's actually fucking disgusting. This statement of facts is submitted on behalf of our client Alphabet Inc. and its subsidiary YouTube in response to subpoenas issued by the House Committee of the Judiciary on February 15th, 2023 and March 6th, 2025. Throughout the committee's investigation, Alphabet provided response information to the committee to fulfill its oversight responsibilities. This is why I'm kind of worried about the UK, because the UK right now is probably doing the same thing with YouTube right now. YouTube is like a used whore for multiple governments. You know what I mean? They smack a whole bunch of money at them, or they just strong arm YouTube, and they're just like, yeah, you're going to make sure that these people are censored. Yeah, you're going to make sure that these people don't get VPNs. You're going to make sure this and that, this and that. Well, at this point, I'm wondering if Google even has a spine anymore. Back then, they probably did. Not now. Not now. They do not have a spine. As a matter of fact, they love getting bent over for governments, which is fucking disgusting. Alphabet is collection of businesses, the largest of which is Google. Alphabet's mission is to organize the world's information and make it universally accessible and useful. Alphabet is committed to building helpful products for everyone, and the company aspires to give all users the tools they need to increase their knowledge. The company is committed to doing their part, yada yada. Of course, the committee and its investigation. The company appreciates the accountability from the House Judiciary Committee, led by Jim Jordan. Okay, so this is them just saying thank you for making sure that we're on the right track. Thank you for beating us over the ass to make sure that. So basically, this is just them saying like thank you for making sure that we've been good boys, basically. So this is the part that I care about: the Biden administration and Alphabet. COVID-19 pandemic was an unprecedented time in which online platforms had to reach decisions. You remember when the time then they told you to not get vaccinated? I mean, there were videos out there saying like not get vaccinated or some shit, and then they destroyed those videos, and now they're saying, oh yeah, you can come back. Those kind of videos is what it's saying. There was a lot of videos saying, yo, this pandemic, the whole, covering your mouth and COVID-19 shit, it's a bunch of bullshit. And then there was a whole thing with Jimmy Kimmel saying like, yo, if you didn't get vaccinated, then rest in peace, Wheezy. And I was like, damn, bro, no wonder you got suspended for less than a week. But the Biden administration officials, including the White House officials, conducted repeated and sustained outreach to Alphabet and pressed the company regarding certain user-generated content related to COVID-19. I think COVID-19 was probably their most important one, but this is the kind of stuff that I'm talking about, to where it's just like, you should not be. This is basically the reason why this is. You might look at this and be like, oh, well, it has nothing to do with me, COVID-19. Well, it's just like the UK, where they're trying to censor a whole bunch of stuff, where people have to use VPNs, even some of you in chat, where you're over in Europe. This is the exact same thing. Only we're hearing about it from Biden, where people are just not seeing their YouTube videos that they enjoy seeing, and it's like, oh, yo, why can't I see my shit? Well, this is the perfect example. These are the same people that would try to shut either me down or Vera Dark or Smash JT, anybody discussing anything that they disagree with. This is the kind of shit that we're talking about. It is unacceptable and wrong when any government, including Biden administration, attempts to dictate how the company moderates content, and the company has consistently fought against those efforts as the First Amendment grounds. First Amendment is very important, everybody. The First Amendment is really important. Now, some of you are not from America, and that's fine. But this is, I think those same rights should apply also to you as well, where if you made your own channel and had your own videos, those should be seen, as long as it's not anything where it's pertaining to, you know, trying to be violent to anybody. Obviously, that would be on TOS. But I think it's still continuing. Because right now, I appreciate the fact that we're seeing what YouTube has been doing the whole time. We knew this whole fucking time, by the way. We knew this whole time. We just couldn't fucking prove it. Now we're seeing exactly what they've been doing this whole time. Many, many years ago, back when the dinosaurs were alive, you would see each and every upload from every person you sub to on your sub page. Bro, back when you couldn't have dark mode on your fucking YouTube. Yeah, I remember that. The big issue with censorship is that it will just push people even further. Like we've been talking about censorship, how it's a slippery slope, and also the pendulum will swing. You try to censor people, the pendulum will swing one way for you. You're censoring people, and then all of a sudden we start to have court cases on why you're trying to censor people, and then we find it out, and then the pendulum is going to swing straight back to you, and then you're going to say the same thing that we've been saying, where you're going to be like, oh, well, they're trying to censor us. Nigga, you tried to censor us first. You did it first. You did it. And we got Jimmy Kimmel, who got suspended, who came back this Tuesday saying like, oh, man, well, Donald Trump, yada, yada. I hate him. Freedom of speech. And I'm like, weren't you the same guy that was happy that other people that was not on your political side, that you were glad that they were canceled and censored? Because Donald, you see what I'm saying? There's always this back and forth shit that I don't fucking like, and it's affecting everybody like below them. Like, I would like my videos to be seen by a lot of people, and it's not gonna happen because now they have different rules with YouTube. By the way, this doesn't fucking matter to you. This is just me griping. I'm pretty sure you guys don't care. If you want to watch my videos, that's fine. If you don't, that's fine. But this is the kind of shit where it's just like, there's always rules changing with YouTube, and YouTube doesn't even abide by those rules. Where it's just like, they'll have one rule where it's pertaining to like, well, we need to censor like music. Okay, well then I guess we can't play music then. Well, also, you guys can't cuss for the first 30 seconds of the video. Okay, there's another thing that we got to deal with. Well, it's like, okay, well, you can't get properly monetized if your video is longer than 10 minutes. And I'm like, okay, there's more fucking rules. There's so many fucking rules that they keep on adding to YouTube that just keeps on piling up, and you're wondering to yourself, is any of this palpable? You see what I'm saying? Is any of this like useful? I find it kind of funny though. You remember the whole censorship thing where they were like, you can't play what's it called? What kind of music? Like, you can't play like certain music that's copyrighted. But for some odd reason, Spotify can just, Spotify. There's a big thing that I don't like about Spotify is the fact that Spotify is just like, okay, bring your music over here in Spotify. And then you bring your music over to Spotify, and then Spotify's like, yeah, this is my music. so we're gonna get a cut of their music. So I'm just like, well, are we gonna talk about Spotify? How Spotify just pretty much sucks up any sort of creator or artist of their money over there on Spotify? Because I'm gonna tell you right now, there's a lot of music artists out there that would have more money if they were off of Spotify, but now everything is siphoned into Spotify. But that's a different story. What I'm trying to say is that they keep on adding more rules to YouTube that are going to, which I'm gonna be honest, I hope they keep on adding more rules to YouTube so people can move over to Rumble, and then we have a little bit of competition. Because if Rumble says, oh, you're okay with doing this, but YouTube keeps on saying, oh, you can't do this, and then you go over to Rumble and then they say, oh, you can do it too. You can do it, that's fine, that's cool. And then you go back to YouTube and YouTube's just like, oh yeah, you can't do this is limited and you can't do this, and out of nowhere one of your videos is going to be restricted from an AI bot, and then you can appeal it, and then out of nowhere they're just like, actually your video is okay. That has happened to me so many fucking times where I'm just like, why is this video being hidden? And they're like, oh yeah, well, some people in Saudi Arabia is not gonna like this. And then I appeal it, and they're just like, actually Saudi Arabia will like this video. And I'm like, I didn't even say anything in the box. You're supposed to put something in the box saying, actually, this is a good video that I think anybody would be okay with. And they'd be like, you know what, you're right. And I'm like, who the fuck is talking on the other side? Like, some video will get flagged out of fucking nowhere, and I'll just be like, actually, the video's good. And they'll be like, actually, you're right. You're right, the video's fine. And I'm like, I didn't put anything in the box. I didn't put anything. I just put LOL. And they're just like, oh, yeah, you make sense. Your video's good, man. And I'm like, who the fuck is running YouTube? Who the fuck is this? And it's just like, oh my gosh. So if you add more rules to YouTube, Rumble will grow. Hell, right now Kick is growing more than Twitch right now. Hell, right now Congress is going through, they're going to talk to the CEO of Discord, Twitch, Reddit, Steam, and who else? Reddit, Steam, yeah, you definitely need to talk to the CEO. Talk to the CEO of fucking Nexus mods too while you're at it. They're gonna be talking to all these big heads, talking about pretty much, hey, you have a TOS and you're not listening to your own TOS. You have some bias, and there's some people on your website that are inciting violence. So, yeah, we need to talk. So it just comes. I hope YouTube is on that list. I don't think YouTube is on that list. No, YouTube is not on that list. Although they did get this, where they just admitted their faults. But I'm saying right now, like, this is why people don't like Twitch, is because Twitch is I do not like McKay. I do not like the CEO of Twitch. He's a fucking little sleazy slime ball. Okay, the people that use Twitch, the regular customers, cool. But CEOs, don't like him. He's a fucking slime ball. But these are the kind of people that we really need to have conversations about. Because if you make a video and you want to talk about games, politics, you want to talk about like nature, you want to talk about medicine, you want to talk about health, you want to talk about like cooking, that sort of thing, you should not be silenced for what you do because somebody from a government's like, oh well, these people are, yeah, silence them because they, you know, we don't want to talk about COVID-19. I think everybody should talk about COVID-19. This is how we have conversations. We keep on talking about conversations, the ability to have conversations, but no, they always want to shut people up. This is kind of bullshit that I don't fucking like. This is why people are fucking mentally ill, because we had a fucking political leader that was asleep half of the time, and the other half of the time he was telling everybody to shut the fuck up. So I don't like this shit. I don't like this shit. I think everybody deserves a place for them to speak and make whatever content they want, as long as it's towards the guidelines. Every single time that I look at the terms of service and guidelines, and some bitch ass motherfucker like Hassan or Destiny, mostly Hassan because he's still on Twitch, he doesn't get in trouble at all. Not at all. I mean, at least Destiny got fucking demonetized. That's fucking hilarious. But fucking Hassan is with a Gucci bag, fucking terrorist like supporter. He should not be supported. I don't want him dead, by the way. I just don't think he should be permabanned because of what he does and what he says. We're not talking about like, oh man, I don't like what you like. I'm talking about this motherfucker just comes up on this website, comes up on Twitch, and it's just like, yeah, kill him. And I'm just like, nigga, what? So when I see YouTube do the same bullshit, which I firmly believe they'll keep on doing it, I think that because right now UK is talking to YouTube about the whole Child Safety Act. It's the same thing. Like I told you guys before, YouTube, somebody always goes up to YouTube secretly and says, listen, I'm gonna bend you over like you bent over for Biden, and YouTube just takes it. They're just like, oh, okay, cool, all right, and then you end up with like, yo, where's my favorite streamer? Yo, why can't I get on the internet? That's the kind of bullshit that I'm fucking talking about. This stems towards, I know I'm mostly a video game channel, but also I'm an entertainer. And when YouTube blocks certain entertainers, it concerns me. It concerns me because it's like, you know what I mean? So on here, he wisps, they admit that the Biden administration censors pressure was unacceptable and wrong. Finally. Confirms that Biden admin wanted Americans censored for speech that did not violate YouTube's policies. Again. Details when YouTube began rolling back its censorship policies on political speech after Judiciary GOP began its investigation. States that public debate should never come at the expense of relying on authorities. Promises to never use third-party fact checkers. Jesus. Warns that Europe's censorship laws target American companies and threaten American speech. This one right here. This one right here. That's the biggest one. All these are bad. All of them are bad. And now Europe is just like, bro, I'm doing the same thing, bro. Bro, I'm censoring America too. So it just goes to show you. It just goes to, you remember Facebook? The fucking Mark Zuckerberg just admitted on air that he was fucking, they told me to censor anybody that was politically on the opposite end. So we knew, by the way, this is not an information video. This is a I told you so video. All of you guys fucking knew it. This is just a conversation about like, yeah, I remember talking about that. Yeah, I remember saying that. But this is the kind of shit that we cannot abide for. We cannot. We have to push back. We have to have conversations about this. This is absolutely disgusting. And look out for videos that you guys actually enjoy on YouTube, because you actually might have gotten unsubscribed. This actually happened to me because I like Dr. Disaster. Somehow I got unsubscribed on Dr. Disaster. Somehow I got unsubscribed from fucking Kyle and Kyle, and I also got unsubscribed from no, I unsubscribed from him on purpose because I don't believe what he just said. There was another person that I unsubscribed from. Hypnotic. I got unsubscribed from Hypnotic, and I'm just like, what the fuck? I didn't unsubscribe from Hypnotic. That was like 3 different people, and I was just like, who the fuck is doing this shit? So be careful out there. For anybody, you know, look out for the creators that you watch up on YouTube. It is happening, and it's still happening. But yeah, this is deplorable. We knew this shit, and we shouldn't stand for this shit. If you have some content that I like, put it up on YouTube. If you have content that I disagree with, put it up on YouTube. As long as it abides by the TOS, put it up there. This is not a me story. This is a censorship story. This is not a, oh, they're censoring me. This is, oh, they're censoring pretty much anybody that disagree with. I don't like that shit. I don't fucking like that shit. There's stuff that I don't watch up on YouTube, like fucking makeup shit. There are I was about to say 3, but there's 4. There is 4 kind of content that I watch up on YouTube. Political shit, gaming shit, I'm gonna skip that one. And I watch fucking like guns and guns and weapons and swords and shit. The third one is porn, okay? The third one is fucking obviously like YouTube yoga for 10 hours sort of shit, okay? I'm trying to learn how to listen. She's fucking flexible. I'm wondering why her 15-minute video is literally 1 million views and she only has 2,000 fucking subscribers, but there it is, okay? It's like DJ videos where the DJ is a fucking hot woman with a little bit of nipple showing. She has 5,000 subscribers, but 15 million views on the video, okay? That's the third one. You found me out. You got me. All right? You got me. Shut the fuck up. Anyway, that's the video, guys. Absolutely deplorable. We need to get this shit straight. We also have some stuff where people are censoring video, not only video games, but also anime. That is a very big concern that I don't like. I think people should have some freedom of expression. This is America we're fucking talking about. And, nigga, do not tell me that you are trying to censor pornography when you're not even touching OnlyFans. Nobody's touching OnlyFans, okay? If you care about censoring porn, then ban OnlyFans. Oh, no, you won't? Okay. He's like, we're gonna put an age verification. Well, no. It's not that they're banning it, it's they're putting an age verification on like fucking everything, which in a way is fine. But at the same time, nobody wants to put an age verification. Nobody wants to put their fucking driver's license on fucking Pornhub. Nobody wants that shit, okay? You're not supposed to be sharing your fucking social security number or your driver's license on fucking website every time when you go to a fucking porn site. That's fucking stupid. It's stupid. You remember when your parents told you not to share your password or to save your password? Just put, because, you know, people will find your password if you share your if you save your password. Just remember your password and then click it in. And now they're over here telling us, yeah, just put your ID on every website that you go to. Yeah, that's a good idea, you know? You just go to every single one of these sketchy like porn sites and then just put your ID on there for age verification. Yeah, that's a good idea. Anyway, guys, that's all I got. I'll see you guys next time. Oh my god. As an alpha weeb who have seen over 300 anime shows, tourists are at fault. You know those fucking young people that are just like, wow, there's a high schooler that's half naked. Yeah, that's what we like. It's an anime. Yeah, but she's a high schooler. No, sir. She's not real. She's not real. Yeah, but she's a high schooler. No, sir, we recognize that these characters are not real. We are having hots for some high schoolers in an anime, knowing very well that these characters are not real. There's people that like Lolitas. That's fine. They're not real. As soon as you start to, as soon as you go into the realm of real people, then we have an issue. Oh, hot anime girls with big titties. Awesome. Cool. High school girls with big titties. Cool. Cat girls with big titties. Cool. Awesome. Everybody's excited. As soon as you go into the realm of real people and you go up to high schoolers when you're 35, then we have a fucking issue. Okay? I don't care if this little weeb guy with a fedora hat likes all these cute little cat girls. Is it weird? Yeah, but I'm not gonna tell him what to fucking do. But it's not illegal. As soon as we touch into the world of real, then we can talk. Back when my dad was young, Puritans were around and tried to ban rock. Oh, bro, they still banned. They banned metal. None of these motherfuckers. They ban metal every fucking time. They play the same gay pop music every fucking time, but they won't play Cannibal Corpse. They won't play The Browning. They won't play like Upon a Burning Body. They won't play fucking what else? They won't play Spirit Box on the fucking main like radio. Every single rock shit is all banned on radio, so everybody has to go to Spotify if they want metal. So but when you go to 101.5 jams, they play the same fucking old music because they know that the old music is better than the new music, and then they play the same fucking pop music. What is it? The Spacchio or something like that. They play the same old shit and the same pop music all the fucking time. Every single time. When I have a radio station, there's only 3 radio stations that I play if I want just a radio. The gospel, country music, and the gospel, the country music, and I think there is a classic music station on radio station. I don't play all that shit. Where I'm the only girl in the world. You just play the same fucking music. Papa Bless death metal and Viking metal. That's my jam. See, that's what I'm talking about. Black Sabbath is much for them. They can't even handle proper doom metal. And when they play fucking metal that's straight from America, or they still gotta censor some of the lines and shit. So I'm just like, why would you bring it up on here if it's fucking censored? And I'm like, ugh. You know what's crazy? They're all for gay people, but they can't play well, no. They're all for gay people, but they don't play Queens on the radio that much. I don't think I've heard Queens on the radio. Has anybody heard Queens on the radio station? I don't think I have. I don't remember them playing Queens on the radio station. They're like, gay people, LGBT community. Then play Queens on the radio station. And they're like, I don't know about that one. I don't think I've heard it. No. I could be wrong. I could be wrong. On the rock station? No. I could be wrong. Could they played Motley Crue? They played Motley Crue. Sorry, I'm trying to replay the times that I've been on the radio. You know, just back when I was a kid when you didn't have phones. No, they did. No, they did. That was back when I was a kid, though. I don't hear it nowadays, though. But when it comes to metal music, they ain't touching that shit. They ain't touching that shit. Absolutely not. Yeah, I think they do play Queen, but you have to go to the rock station. The rock station always plays the good, like, old school rock. So you got your Motley Crue, you got your AC/DC, you got your Metallica. They even play some POD sometimes, some Stained, some old stuff. Who else? Motley Crue. Damn, it's been a while. Yeah, but yeah, they don't really play too much of the new rock. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Anyway, I will leave it there, guys. Thanks so much for joining me here today, guys. This has been awesome. I'm glad I wanted to do another hard rant stream with you. I ranted a lot today, and now my throat is out. My throat is out. I'm done. I will be streaming here later on, and I'll see you guys next time. Y'all take care. Take care of yourselves. Don't get censored out there, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace. Have a good one, guys. Peace.